Lehman Brothers, Goldman Sachs, false flag terror attacks, Bill Gates, Henry Kissinger, New World Order mind control, Bank of America stealing homes with cut and paste mortgage loans, police, state, taser guns, FEMA camps, mad to run. Monsanto rules the food supply while Big Pharma dopes your mind. Prison system, puppeteers, foundations, fund the fears, fund the evil through the years. The world's not as it appears. CIA smuggles drugs while Wachovia and Wells Fargo launder them, then give the proceeds to the owners of the Federal Reserve Bank. Now the IRS takes money out of every single check. Money they created out of thin air and leave you with debt. They want to make you a serf, a slave to their demand. They want to take your life in every way they can. Fluoride, GMO, vaccines, chemtrails, United Nations genocide. The world they show us is not real. This is how they kill and steal. Rothschild, Bundy, Rockefeller, Club of Rome. On the Georgia Guidestones it's written in stone.
A part of that plan, of course, is to induce the gradual surrender of American sovereignty, piece by piece and step by step, to various international organizations, of which the United Nations is the outstanding but far from the only example.
We are Americans, part of something larger than ourselves. For 2 centuries, we've done the hard work of freedom, and tonight we lead the world in facing down a threat to decency and humanity. What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind: peace and security, freedom, and the rule of law.
The plan as outlined to me was to form an organization of veterans, to use as a bluff or as a club at least, to intimidate the government. I appeared before the Congressional Committee, the highest representation of the American people, under subpoena to tell what I knew of activities which I believe might lead to an attempt to set up a fascist dictatorship. The upshot of the whole thing was that I was supposed to lead an organization of 500,000 men, which would be able to take over the functions of government.
Cut through the matrix, awaken to the lies. Do not be hypnotized. We are one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, good evening. This is Howard Nema of We Are Change Connecticut, and you are watching Truth Talk News on truthbroadcastnetwork.com. After, like many stumbles, and now 20 minutes into the broadcast, I apologize. We'll have obviously an abbreviated broadcast, but you know what? I can go through this information with a very, very good friend of mine who we were going to go into some long, detailed analyses of certain things, and of course our history together is, as far as the New World Order, notorious to them. They certainly do not like us. Chris Freedom Flowers is going to be joining us in about 10 minutes, and we came upon each other through seeking truth and exposing lies, and it's an amazing story, and I'm not going to say anything about it because I'm going to introduce you to those that were not aware of who Chris Freedom Flowers is. He is literally a targeted individual, a COINTELPRO targeted individual, as I am and others, unfortunately, have been increasingly attacked. So moving forward, I should not have just a blank screen there with me on the side there. I'll just getting used to this new Procaster material here, using this software. I apologize for any faux pas, but I think we have a great broadcast ahead of us. I can't wait till he calls in. He is from the great city of Montreal in Canada, and I'm hoping, if not this, well, I'm certainly going to make it my business to try to see if we can have the resources. I've got a lot of things going on this summer here, and hoping to have the resources to make a trip up there, and maybe we'll get together. If not then, 9/11 era time, I'll have some time off. So we'll look back at that later. Going into the news, I want to talk about a few things now because we have a little bit less time. We left off with these war drums in Syria, and I think we should consider moving on and looking at just a couple of more segments here, I think, that are very essential to understand how the New World Order mechanism works with this military-industrial complex. It's very complicated, and I'm very happy to have Chris come on, because he'll have great commentaries on it as well in just a few minutes, and we'll be able to converse via this Altec system that I have here. Hopefully we'll have a good, clear connection, and it looks as though the audio levels are appropriate and set, and we should be okay. Other than that, I would just like to show you a couple of little clips. And one of them has to do, well, it all really is where we left off with the Syria. I was getting into Syria last night, and we really left a lot out. And a lot of good commentary will continue, because I've got a good 20-30 minutes worth of stuff here that we could go through. The other thing that I want to mention right now, and I just don't, maybe I'll just jump ahead to that a little bit, or now that's a whole nother segment on fluoride. I'll talk about that with Chris as well. So it's going to be an abbreviated show, but let's move forward as planned. And here is the war drums in Syria are beating, and that's where we're standing right now. And we'll take a glance at this horrible situation.
The subject of Syria, another area where you've been very outspoken about the need, you believe, for the U.S. to step in the sense of help arm some of the opposition in Syria, and perhaps even be more forceful. This is from our Secretary to the UN, Susan Rice.
There's not a unified command and control. It's a series of different groups in different cities. There's clearly also an extremist element that is trying to infiltrate elements of the opposition. So to argue that we ought to be arming the opposition is a very consequential statement, and I don't think that those that are advocating that have fully thought through the consequences.
Again, that was Ambassador Susan Rice. Have you fully thought through the consequences, Senator, of helping to arm Syrians?
When I hear a statement like that, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. A shipment of arms from May 26 from Russia came into Syria. Iranians are on the ground. They have artillery, tanks. They are massacring people in most horrendous fashion. Meanwhile, members of the administration continue to run out of adverbs and adjectives in expressing their outrage. Did you hear the president yesterday? And
I can't even stand this anymore. I mean, this propaganda just makes me nauseous. I should maybe even hold off, because I'm sure Chris would have a lot to say. Maybe I will. And let me jump ahead, because I'd like to talk about this. First of all, we could start, and I know Chris would really be into this. We could talk about Cynthia, or Candy.
The subject of Syria and
Candy Crowley. I mean, does this woman look familiar to any of you? Does she have a resemblance to anybody that you can think of? I don't know. Maybe if you looked a little closer, like really close, like if you went in his close.
Another area where you've been very outspoken about the need you believe for the U.S. to...
Yeah, it's she is the granddaughter, or one of many illicit and illegitimate, or legitimate or illegitimate grandchildren or family bloodline of Crowley.
Step in the sense of help.
We'll talk about that. And Chris knows a lot more than I do. I mean, let me tell you something. When we talk about the New World Order, and you're talking about Chris Freedom Flowers, you're seriously having a what is this? What the hell happened here? That's crazy. You're talking about somebody that has a vast amount of knowledge, somebody that has done research that is far beyond my research and far beyond my scope of work, and you know, I talked to him, and there are things he knows that I mean I haven't even scratched the surface on. His information and knowledge on the Rothschild family is unparalleled to anyone I know. His dedication to the truth is equal to mine, but his knowledge is far exceeds. And he took a long hiatus, and we'll chat about it. He'll be coming on in about 4 minutes, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say about this. So not to waste time, because I'd like to get into some meaty subjects, and he wanted to bring up a few things too. He wanted to talk about some of the issues regarding the medical community, since he is in the medical community, and hospitals and these Masonic connections to the hospitals, which I thought was extremely interesting. And obviously we know, because I see commercials every day here in Connecticut for Masonic care. Go here for your nursing home. I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say, and it's really going to be an awesome show, because Chris is one of the greatest truth seekers that I have ever. He is truly my brother, and I would not be doing this, but I'm not going to get into this right this minute, if it wasn't for Chris Freedom Flowers, and he'll tell you why. So I'm really excited about that. But let's move a little bit ahead. I'm going to, pardon me until I try to find the actual clip. Jim Russell of We Are Change Connecticut, and this is really, really important to everybody. Everyone needs to go to, I'm trying to get to the fluoride section, just for one thing. Or maybe I don't even need to, I don't know. Everybody needs to go to the Republican American today, 6/19/2012. That's www.rep. Well, wrong video. Well, actually, fluoride, yeah. The dangers of fluoride. Yeah, this is what we're going to talk about. So I only have a couple of minutes before Chris is going to call, but this is going to be the segment that we're going to be going on as far as right before him, and then he'll comment on that and everything else. But I want to get back to the serious situation. But maybe I actually shouldn't. I should just. He's going to be calling in a minute. But moving ahead, this is a clip about fluoride, and what Jim Russell of We Are Change Connecticut has done is, I'm just going to make a note here for put this first. Anyway, that he has gotten a lot of buzz in Waterbury, where he is a resident of Waterbury, Connecticut, and he's got an alderman. We've all met these people, the mayor and all these people from We Are Change Connecticut. Now, We Are Change Connecticut wasn't specifically mentioned, but certainly very important for whatever reason, I don't know why, but he is, they wanted it as a citizen, I guess. Again, the controlled, why don't you just let the guy just say what he wants? But no, they print what they wish to print. Big problem that I have with that. But this is in the Waterbury Republican, which serves a good part of the state of Connecticut, you know. And it is the Republican American. You can go to www.republican, or I should say www.rep-am.com, or just Republican American 619. It'll come up if you Google search it. I mean, it's a big paper in Waterbury, Connecticut. And the entire article, which I guess, you know, actually I should sort of like pull it up, you know, moving forward. Chris will be calling in a minute. But what he did was actually got this article, and I am going to pull it up, and I'll show it to everybody, and that's what I should be doing. I feel terrible that I missed the Richard Gage and the 9/11 in West Hartford on Sunday. I totally dropped the ball on that, but I sort of have been burning the candle at both ends between work, the truth, my commitments with that, and my band, and my personal family. Oh, there's the famous intro song, infamous song. Anyhow, I certainly wonder about the... I'm just wondering if that was Chris calling the other line. Oh, it's the cell phone. Oh, yeah, wait. All right, that's Chris, hon. Give me the phone a second. It's my wife. Looks like he called the house phone first. He'll be calling. So Chris is going to be joining us. We'll start off with this whole thing. It's going to be good. Sorry for the delays, but it's an even half an hour. You'll get a solid one with like the best truth seeker, in my opinion, anyone that I've come across. I mean, he told me to beware Alex Jones when I was you know, a big supporter of Alex Jones. So that says an awful lot right there, doesn't it? Oh, there we go. What's the number? Is he going to call? All right, whatever. Delays. This is live. This is how it is. It's live. It is all real. 17 minutes into this broadcast. I don't know. Maybe Harry will let me go a little longer, or we can join in together. He could Skype me, of course. Here we go. Is this Mr. Flowers? How are you? All right, let me before we start going, let me get you up here and put you on the amplifier, because I have this system here until we get the servers and everything. The phone number is really whacked with Skype and everything. Hold on. All right, let me just plug in. Okay. Give us a little communication there, Mr. Flowers.
Yeah, so what's going on, man?
Hey. Okay, it's pretty good. That's not bad. I'll try to get it louder. All right, and I got the speaker machine on, so this is giving a little extra boost to it. It's doing well. The fight is going on, Chris. I'm so glad that you could join us here. And this is for those that are unaware. This is Chris Freedom Flowers. He is from Montreal, a truth seeker, and we cross paths due to the same goals, I guess. We're on the same boat on the same ocean in the same direction. And I just want to thank you, Chris, again for really making a difference in my life, because I realize how important this information is to get out. And I was unable to really get a serious viewpoint, and you were allowing me access to get on the radio, and that's how this whole thing started. So for those that don't know you, why don't you give a little bit of insight about your history with the truth in just a minute or so, and then how we met, and where we're going. I'd love to talk about that. And then I have this great commentary stuff here, but I could leave off. We could just talk. I had some videos here presented for problems with fluoride and other things, and we were going to like to talk about the hospital system and other things, so I'd like to get into all of that. But please, let everybody know what you represent, as they say. My Canadian brother.
As you know, Howard, I represent voters. It doesn't matter whether it's politics, the occult, what is known as Earth mystery, just coming all around in every area. And I got started about 21 years ago when I started reading a lot of Eric von Daniken novels, you know, ancient aliens, stuff like that. That's what turned me on to the truth. And it also turned me on to hidden technology that our government used and our military used against us. So that's basically how I got started. And from then, it evolved into, you know, exposing the Illuminati agenda, the 13 satanic bloodlines, and just encompass everything that is part of the New World Order agenda.
Right. Well, again, when we first met, and again, you have extensive knowledge of this. Like I said, I only woke up in 2007, Chris, so I'm a newbie.
You're a baby.
Yeah, I'm nothing. You know, I mean, I just and some of the things that we've talked about, in fact, everybody should go to YouTube, Freedom First Films. And you can just put in there Chris Freedom Flowers, and it'll come up all the videos that we've posted on audio shows that we did to Fight the New World Order. And let's talk about Fight the New World Order for a second. We took a bit of a hiatus, and Informed Radio, I have the pleasure of reporting from Cam Hyde, who is the detective involved in the Truth War scandal, for lack of a better word, at Informed Radio. Has informed me that we will be getting our physical servers back, but more important, it wasn't so much the physical servers, because I've gotten that issue temporarily fixed and actually permanently fixed now with the thanks of Roger Landry of WeThePeopleNetwork.com. He's going to provide us with a secure server in the network and other administrative things that I want to talk to you about, actually, off. You know, on when we have some time. I don't know. I've never mentioned the network. He has grown this show tremendously. He also is now in doing a partnership with. I mean, they're reaching like 100 million people, Chris, in Turkey and in that region. The whole lower.
Sorry to cut you off there, Harry, but we need to expand to those certain areas. You know, places like Turkey.
Exactly.
People, exactly. Syria, you know, because a lot of people don't realize the situation in Syria, it's the New World Order behind it, and they want people to riot, they want people to go crazy, so they can do what they're going to do here eventually, and that's strip away our rights from us, right underneath our feet. So we got to wake the people up all over the world, the Middle East, everywhere, so that they stand a chance to fight the New World Order.
That's right. That's the truth. And you have this whole the war situation is unbelievable. Now, unfortunately, I know, like, what's wonderful is we're coming down the pike with having like the ability to have Skype, and we're gonna really bring this to another level. But oh God, what is this commercial thing? God, you have to stop that. I have what are your comments on Candy Crowley, Cynthia Crowley?
Oh, from CNN.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she is related to Aleister Crowley. Has a lot of.
Yeah, I know. I just reported that, and you see, you don't have the ability at this point because we don't have the Skype thing going on with you yet, but we will, and you're calling in by phone.
I did a show about the CNN so-called news anchors and their relationships to the Illuminati, like Anderson Cooper, for instance, who's the son of Gloria Vanderbilt. Wolf Blitzer, who is a Zionist.
Right.
You know, all of these so-called news anchors all have ties. Here's Morgan, okay? Here's a perfect example. Pierce Morgan is part of the Morgan Chase family. His brother was actually the instructor that taught both Prince William and Harry at Eton, or however you want to pronounce it, in England. He was the instructor, the teacher. And these connections are all over the mainstream media, banking, as we all know. But to get back onto the CNN issue, all these news anchors have ties to the Illuminati bloodline.
Well, listen. Here's what I want to do. You're not going to obviously be able to see this, but you'll be able to hear it. And I just want you to comment on this interesting thing. Now, I can't wait to get this whole thing rolling. I know it'll be only a couple of weeks, and I'm sort of really over anxious, but still learning this new software, so it's all actually good. You know, whatever. Had a few false starts today, Chris. A little bit of mayhem.
Yeah, well, going to target you, Howard.
No, it wasn't a targeted thing. I had some false starts. I just had some problems, getting this thing whole straight. The last couple, just getting used to this new video thing. But it's really actually it's awesome, the capabilities. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play, and I want you to give me your commentary on Cynthia Crowley is talking about McCain. So yeah, let's just get into this whole and Syria, and of course the warmongering, the drums of war are beating, and this is why, again, like I said, I preambled you as to the amount of knowledge,
Syria,
but here she is. So this is Cynthia Crowley. Now, for the folks that are watching on truthbroadcastnetwork.com right now, live, I am going close on her, and as you watch, I will be searching for a picture of Aleister Crowley to superimpose over her face. And it will be clear and obvious. What?
Aleister Crowley with long hair and about 40 pounds extra.
You're about right, but it's frightening because I just want those that might not be awake. Okay? Because one of the things I always loved about your broadcasts, and I miss them so much, and I'm so glad you're coming back to informedradio.com, and I'm sure you'll be all over truthbroadcastnetwork.com. So I'm just so happy because that was the whole thing, the way that you expose these things and the way that you put them in terms. I just really appreciate that. And I'm happy that we're back, brother. What?
Pretty good for a French guy.
Dude, yeah, you're a French, basically French Canadian Native American, basically, right? So isn't that, Yeah, that's right. So again, so what I'm thinking about here is I'm going to play this for you. You'll be able to hear it. It's a short clip, and we'll stop it. If you start making commentary, I'll just stop the video for those watching. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to pull up a picture of Aleister Crowley, and then everybody's going to watch her because what I did, Chris, is I just went in really tight on this lady's face, and she's just going to talk, and you're going to see her. And then you guys make your decision, and then let's talk about the Crowley bloodline, and let's talk about this whole New World Order and Syria, and then move it into your direction. I would also like you to potentially comment on the situation with the fluoride, as if we have time allows. We still got 20 minutes, so I think we can pull it all off. Because again, here in Connecticut, if you haven't known, Chris, We Are Change Connecticut is doing a tremendous job, especially big kudos to Jim Russell, we have gotten not only media attention, but we've got this article in the Republican American, which you can go to Republican American today on 6/19, which is in Waterbury, Connecticut. And there's an article, and not only that, it's a poll. And this is for everybody listening. You must go there right now. Go to this website, www.rep-am.com. That's Republican American today. www.rep-am.com, and there's a poll. Should fluoride be put in the water in Connecticut? Unfortunately, last time I checked, the sheeple are saying yes. We must wake the sheeple up.
You know why they're saying yes, Howard? Because they believe and they buy into what mainstream media tells them, and they believe in the so-called science behind fluoride, which, if you really look into it and you do your own research, and I'm speaking about the sheeple, not the truth seekers, the people out there who are not awake, if they did their own research, they will find how dangerous fluoride as a chemical is to your body.
Exactly, and that's the whole thing. I have a lot of information on that, and there's never enough time to report it, Chris. That's why it's like unbelievable. And if I didn't have the faux pas, we'd have more. But I don't want to digress. But we'll definitely hit on this. We have enough time. I'm going to be concise. This is 2 minutes. We're going to play this down. Normally, what I'm going to do from now on, I'm actually going to have a schedule. I wrote it down for those that are actually watching. I could actually show you that this is the schedule, and the schedule is supposed to go in time segments, so I have a certain amount of time. But the first 15 minutes were blown by me screwing up the various problems with getting used to the software, and then it crashed on me. It did actually crash twice. So you might be right about that, Chris. They did crash on me twice, but I really didn't get a good start on the broadcast. And then I did, and I feel much better about it. I think it's going to be a good show when we look back at it. But I don't want to babble. So let's listen to this Satanist, or Luciferian from the Order of the Golden Dawn heritage, who was so depraved, William Yates even kicked him out. That's Crowley we're talking about, a Leicester, who liked to go to Sicily and have these. Actually, Mussolini kicked him out of Sicily, didn't he, Chris?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, because he was so depraved. So, all right, let's listen to his granddaughter and see what she's got to say.
The subject of Syria, another area where you've been very outspoken about the need, you believe, for the U.S. to step in the sense of help arm some of the opposition in Syria and perhaps even be more forceful. This is from our Secretary to the UN, Susan Rice.
There's not a unified command and control. It's a series of different groups in different cities. There's clearly also an extremist element that is trying to infiltrate elements of the opposition. So to argue that we ought to be arming the opposition is a very consequential statement, and I don't think that those that are advocating that have fully thought through the consequences.
Again, that was Ambassador Susan Rice. Have you fully thought through the consequences, Senator, of helping to arm the Syrians?
When I hear a statement like that, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. A shipment of arms from May 26 from Russia came into Syria. Iranians are on the ground. They have artillery, tanks. They are massacring people in most horrendous fashion. Meanwhile, members of the administration continue to run out of adverbs and...
Okay. What do you think, Chris? Did you hear that COINTELPRO right there?
I have difficulty hearing the audio.
Oh, I'm sorry. What McCain was just saying is like we have here. I'll just go back, see if you can actually hear this little clip. It's important, and I'm going to point this out to the people that are watching, and then I'll relay it to you, Chris, if you're having a little difficulty. Hold on.
Meanwhile, members of the administration...
Yeah, he's stumbling. It's real interesting.
Meanwhile, members of the administration... tanks, they are massacring people in most horrendous... They're massacring...
All right, here we go.
Iranians are on the ground. They have artillery.
Iranians are on the ground. Iranians are on the ground.
Came into Syria.
Listen to this lies.
Came in.
I mean, it's all about propaganda. He's saying, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. The Iranians are on the ground. The Iranians are on the ground in Syria.
Well, that makes no sense.
Listen, I'm playing this, and just wait 1 second, and we can comment on it. And I'm going to kill the clip because we got to move on. But I want everybody listening and watching to get a glimpse of Mr. McCain's doublespeak, his insanity, and then we're going to expose it. This is what we do, you know. Hold on. All right, this is really important for the folks listening. Grab a listen to what Mr. McCain is saying, and then we'll move on.
A shipment of arms from May 26 from Russia came into Syria. Iranians are on the ground. They have artillery, tanks. They are massacring people in most horrendous fashion.
They are massacring people in horrendous fashion. They have tanks on the ground. This is the Iranians in Syria. This is what he's telling us. He's telling the people this. I'm telling you the truth, and that's what I'm telling you the truth. He's lying.
No, he's lying. What he's doing is, this is exactly what we talked about, Howard, you and I, many times when we were on the air together. We talked about this as truth seekers over the years, you know, many of us, about how Iran is the primary target of the New World Order. And now they're going to say that there are a bunch of Iranians on the ground with tanks in Syria. Well, pardon my language, but that's bullshit. Okay? Like, come on. People out there need to wake up. This is just war mongering. This is propaganda in order to make Iran look bad so that they can use it as a precursor to attack Iran. So when Israel and America and great old Great Britain over there starts attacking Iran, they'll be able to justify it to the people. Okay?
Right.
So we know the truth. We know the truth.
That's right. My procaster seems to have... it's not responding. I'm trying to check my audios, and my CPU level is normal. I got a good thing here, and I'm trying to figure out why I can't maneuver here all of a sudden.
Well, I'm getting all hyped up, man. I'm not even back on the air yet. I'm already getting all like hyped up and aggravated. I love it.
Oh yeah, it's awesome, dude. I can't. You're amazing. I mean, like we did shows together, and it was like there's like they're up there. They're on the YouTube page. You just got to put Chris Freedom Flowers and on Freedom First Films on YouTube, and you'll get a whole bunch of stuff. And then you can just Google Chris Freedom Flowers, and a whole bunch of stuff will come up. Incredible information. You've been doing this for many years, and I've been attacked, and we've been talking about that and the COINTELPRO. But I'm trying to make sure that I have a good connection, Chris. I'm just hoping that you and I are not having a conversation and the audio is not proper for some reason.
Meanwhile,
I hear I don't have the what I'm trying to get here is again, this has just been a little bit of a problem getting used to this new software, but I'm trying to understand why I can't. I mean, I hate to stop this thing and start it again, but for whatever reason, I can't check my audio levels to see if, because I keep muting the mic for like purposes of helping the sound of the broadcast, and I can't see if I'm off or on. A little bit of a problem. So I'll make a decision to rebroadcast. I'm going to start again. So just keep talking, brother.